Welcome to Dynamo Dynamics, winning goals to digital dominance. I'm your host, Danny Perry, and with me as always is my guy, Kai Peterson. Guy, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Excited for Dynamo football this weekend.
Well, why is that? I mean, could it be, were you deprived last weekend, or does it seem like forever since there's been a game, or what's up?
Not deprived of football, but definitely the Dynamo. It's been weird having a week on, and then after this game we have another week off, so...
Well, I guess they can't claim they're not well rested right
Yeah.
now, right? But, I mean, they did, as you said, Dynamo had a week off, so we don't really have a game to talk about. But we can talk about the Dynamo still in reference to their upcoming game. So they are now sitting at a better spot in the table than where they were earlier. That caused us so much consternation. But they still have some ground to make up. So this weekend, it's back in action against Montreal.
At home, so... And Montreal's sitting dead last in the East, so this is, the perfect time to
grab
get a
some
big
points.
win.
Yeah.
Not just like a statement win. Like, I think you're up by 2, keep scoring. Score, build the confidence.
Those are those famous easier said than done words.
Definitely.
But I agree with you. They really need a win. I mean, I'll just take the win right now, 3 more points. But if the attack can solidify a little bit more, if the defense continues to grow like it seems to have been doing over the last few weeks, then I think we'll be in good shape. But we definitely shouldn't lose to the 15th place team in the East right now.
Definitely not. And I don't know if you saw, Jack McGlynn scored for the USMNT national team.
I did see that.
I didn't even think about that we were going to talk about that today. But great goal for him.
He's looking like he could be the signing of the season as far as impact on his team. What he's bringing. He's been phenomenal, man. I mean, just in all aspects, and you see it now.
He's growing.
National team.
Like he's getting more confident, more skilled just every week. It seems like, at first it wasn't like he was timid or anything, but he just wasn't meshing well.
Yeah, well, I think
it's a new
he
club.
wasn't settled to the team yet.
Yeah.
And, and I think he probably came in a little bit deferential, if you will, from the start. There are some players who have been here, but there's the leaders of the team, the leadership of this team, with the exception of, I would consider Dorsey a leader.
Yeah.
But most of the established leadership, they're not here anymore, and he came into this, and he was likely being deferential, but he didn't really need to be, and I think as he's figured that out, he's just really taking control. It's become his team really, really quick.
I think also the first couple of weeks they put a lot of weight on his shoulders because, one of the biggest signings, not just for the Dynamo, but in MLS, there's a lot of money for him, and he's only 21 years old, but he's really developing.
Yeah, I think he's worth the money.
Making the appearance on the national team and scoring a goal, I could see him start in the World Cup.
Well, we still have a little bit of time to go before the World Cup, but I can see it happening. I'm just trying to think of another U.S. who would be ahead of him in the midfield.
It depends. Maybe Weston McKennie if he's playing midfield. Sometimes I know they play him at right back, left back position, but he's going to fit right in.
Yeah, I would agree. Money well spent.
Yeah,
Again, that was a great signing. But like we said, though, Dynamo up to 10th.
Yeah.
So we were watching them just hanging out at the bottom for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And now it's just a steady progression up. So up to number 10 in the West. So we're almost to the playoff contention spots, or it's almost a play-in game.
1 point away.
Well, let's see. We are 2 points off right now.
2 points off. But I think 3 points off 7th place or something like that. So... We're right there.
Exactly.
We're right in the middle of the pack. We're on the wrong side of it right now, but sometimes that's good to be
down. It's better than where we were.
Yeah.
And I think we are also trending positively. So we've had a lot more results. So wins and draws, but mostly wins. So if we can keep that going, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
We'll be in good shape. Well, what else do we have going on? We've been
this past weekend, the Nations League. which
Well,
was
I think we have to talk, not the final though, but the match before that. Oh my God, the
5-4.
Spain versus France.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I mean, Spain goes up like, I can't remember if it was 3-0 or 4-0, and then France gets one back, and then Spain got another. And then, to me, it just seems Spain took their foot off the gas a little bit, which, I mean, is understood. You're up by 4, but giving up 3 goals in, like, the span of 15 minutes is kind of scary.
It made for a real nervy finish for them, I'm sure. And you know, the taking your foot off the gas, it's kind of natural, I guess, if you're especially leading by 4 goals you know, in the last 15 minutes of a match. But you never know what can happen, man, and it almost happened. It almost happened.
Yeah, it did. It was definitely exciting to watch. If you caught the last 20, 30 minutes of that game.
Yeah, you saw a game.
Yeah.
You saw a game. But that led to the final of Portugal versus Spain. And what were your thoughts? I mean, was it...
Going into it, I honestly thought Spain was really going to dominate. Mm-hmm. I mean, they won the Euros. They're a really well team right now. They're in really good form.
Yeah.
But Portugal, I mean, is always good too.
They are.
You can't really count them out.
You can't. They always have a quality national team. You know, and I remember a few years ago when who did they started someone in place of Ronaldo during the World Cup. Wasn't Bruno Fernandes? It was
Darwin Nunez.
I don't know. They brought him off the bench, pissed him off. But the talk then was that this is like a changing of the guard and the end of Portugal's golden generation. But here they are. They're still here. You know,
And Ronaldo scored against Germany, and he scored in the final.
Jeez.
At 39 years old, going on 40.
I think we're convinced he's a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a cyborg.
Yeah. But they ended up, Portugal ended up winning. I mean, it went to penalties, which is, you know, as a fan of the game and not of either team, you love to see penalties. Yeah. It's always really exciting. They ended up winning 5-3,
So congrats to Portugal.
Yeah.
Again, another trophy in the case. And so as Nations League, we have the Club World Cup coming up.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit on the last show. So we got all of these teams that are big clubs. There are some really good clubs in the competition.
Of course, Bayern Munich's in it.
I said good clubs.
You're right. Great clubs are in it.
But those matches kick off
this weekend as well.
So there's something else for you to watch. We'll follow. I guess we'll have more information on that as the games actually start.
Yeah.
But any thoughts initially?
I mean, it's just hard to tell. Like Bayern, for example, we're playing a New Zealand team, so I have no idea. I have no idea how they play, who they have. I don't know anything about them. They could upset us, honestly, but I doubt it. I really hope not. But with teams like that, it's almost like the NCAA March Madness.
Yeah.
You don't see these players. They could have really good quality. They just don't have the promotion of TV and like people aren't watching. The scouts aren't looking in those leagues.
Yeah,
so.
it doesn't mean they're not good.
Yeah, I mean we see it in the FA Cup every year. There's like
there's always a Cinderella for the March Madness to reference again. But yeah, so I mean somebody's probably going to be upset in the group stages of this and not make it to the next round or to the knockouts, and I wonder why. So maybe it could be Auckland FC. Maybe Auckland could be that Cinderella team starting with Bayern.
We'll put up 8 on them.
Denial. Well, we'll see how that competition progresses as it goes along. And then, of course, all of the World Cup qualifiers are underway around the world right now.
Yeah.
So too much to talk about.
Europe has too many groups. I think it's Group A through
H,
almost A through Z, almost. I know South America and Central America have theirs. It's a lot of football going on.
There definitely is a lot of good matches and a lot at stake. You know, so World Cup spots in the World Cup. this Club World Cup will, this is either going to make or break that tournament, actually, the reception it gets, because all of those matches are here in the United States.
In the United States for the Club World Cup. So
depending on how the attendance.
They just don't have any in Houston. I'm really disappointed. I would have loved to go see, because the only games we get here are, we get to see Manchester United come, but they play the reserves.
Exactly.
And those tickets are very expensive to watch. Their best players play for 20 minutes and then watch the youth team.
Unlimited substitutions. Yeah, exactly.
So, and with the money that this tournament's bringing in, it's like every club says they're taking it serious. So I would have loved to. It
would have been nice. I mean, and especially I think this is one of the bigger markets as far as consumption of global soccer. Yeah. I mean, there are fans from
we're international
everywhere here, and that would support matches of that type. So it would have been nice. Would have been nice. Houston slighted yet again. Yeah, we're upset by that. But any thoughts on who's going to win it all besides Bayern? Like any well thought out opinions on it that are not just rooted in fandom?
No biased. I actually have not. I don't know who's going to win.
All right.
I haven't looked too much into it. There's been too much going on.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll make predictions after the group stage.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good to me.
After the groups, we'll predict who's going to end up coming through the knockouts.
We didn't predict the Dynamo game this weekend.
Oh, we did not. So Montreal versus the Houston Dynamo. Montreal 15th place in the East. Dynamo 10th place in the West. I'm going Dynamo 2-0.
I said statement win. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going Dynamo 3-0.
3-0. All right, there you have it. 5-0 Dynamo.
And then 8-0 Bayern this weekend. But other than that, sports-wise, we have the NBA Finals.
There you go.
And that is actually exciting.
It's going to be good. I mean, so if it's anything, if the first two games are any indication, Indiana stole the first game from OKC.
One lead change the whole game.
Yeah.
And the last, they went 0.3 seconds. Yeah. So
insane.
Indiana, this whole playoff has been
giant killers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've done it every time. I think they've won every first round game. I believe they've won all of their first games of the series.
And they just love winning on buzzer beaters.
They do. Halliburton and that crew. They're good though, man. They're kind of a revelation of how good they actually are. And
definitely.
And it's weird because they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and it's like everybody forgot.
Yeah.
But now they've taken it a step forward.
They definitely look better this year though. Yeah. Last year it didn't seem like a competition. So in the East,
Well, they've got a competition now because OKC came back, storming back in game 2 and just said, "Well, we're the number 1 seed here. Let's reset the order." So it's a series. They say it's never really a series until the home team loses. That's happened. So I think the rest of this is going to be interesting. But you picked OKC to win it, correct?
Yeah, I think you did as well. Yeah. I would love Indiana to win though. I'm rooting for them, but I picked OKC,
Yeah, okay, it's like the PSG AC Milan or Inter Milan thing in the Champions League. It's like, I think PSG. I think Inter is going to win it, but I want PSG to win it. But that's we're hedging. We're hedging.
Let us know who you got in the NBA Finals. Because we don't know who we have.
Oh, man. Hit us on our socials. Let us know. What about the Nations League, Club World Cup, or who do you want to see make the World Cup in 2026? What about the Dynamo, the MLS standings for the rest of the year? What's up? Let us know. We want to hear from you. And we will be back next week to talk. Well, we'll have some Club World Cup finals from this weekend coming up. We'll have the Dynamo to see if our 5-0 prediction was correct, and more on the NBA Finals. So, folks, any closing thoughts, Kai?
Nah.
Words of brilliance?
Go Dynamo and go Bayern.
Go Dynamo.
And Bayern.
Thanks, folks. We'll see you next time.